I want to show you how to make a boiled salad and some steamed greens. A boiled salad you can have 4 to 5 times a week. I'm always relating to Bree's original macrobiotic or plant-based consultation, and steamed greens you need every day. So I've done some prep work here. All you need to do this is a pot of water that you bring to the boil. You put just a tinge of sea salt in that, okay, in that water. And then it's deciding what vegetables you're going to use. So it's at the boil now, so I've got some broccoli flowerlets here, which I'm going to put in, not the whole thing, because you want to give it plenty of room to boil, okay? And this is going to be for 3 minutes. I'll put the timer on. It's good to work 2 to 3 minutes, and it's good to work with the timer because you'll get distracted and you don't want to overcook these vegetables. You know, when I was growing up, my dad was the main cook. My mom was the baker in the family, but he overcooked the vegetables. You know, spinach was almost brown. You know, people that cook collards until they're brown when you just need to steam them for 2 to 3 minutes and get all the nutrients in it. So this is coming to a boil, but in the meantime, what I have here to give you an example of some variety is I made a base of red cabbage, which I did the same way. Thing you need to know with dark vegetables like red cabbage, you do them last because they'll turn the water red, they'll bleed into the water, and then all the vegetables coming after it will have that color or a bit of that color. So definitely this, you know, the daikon would have been purple. So I did the daikon first. So the variety is daikon, cut in matchsticks, or julienne, either way you can explain it, on red cabbage, or green beans sliced at an angle on red cabbage, or julienne or matchsticks carrots on red cabbage. So that's just to give you an idea, because these are wonderful colors, and when you start getting into vegetables and appreciating vegetables, and they're full of phytonutrients that we need, the color, you know, when you go to a restaurant, you see that every plate that's delivered to a table is brown beige, different varieties of brown beige. It's off balance. There's no balance there. You've got to bring in color. So that's an idea. I mean, your base could be Chinese cabbage. Your base could be even some greens. Start to experiment, play with these colors. It's fabulous. And so now we have that one, and on this one I've already cooked some cauliflower. So I'm putting cauliflower on the outside of the plate, and then the broccoli, when it's done, will go in the center, just to make it more fun and more interesting. And these are all your carnivorous vegetables, which are anti-cancerous, big time, big time. And there's protein in all plant foods. So I know we haven't been, you know, we haven't been brought up this way, but there are protein in all of these foods. People still say to me, where you get your protein? Even last night someone said, where do you get? I said, there's protein in all plants, some more than others. So now I'm just waiting for this. But in the meantime, I guess what I can also tell you is, you know, this is to, oh, there we go. See? That helps me from getting distracted. A good kitchen timer is wonderful. So you have a sieve like this, you bring it out, and you put it, the colander, over a bowl, because you want to get rid of the excess water, and you want it to stop cooking right away. And I'll put the rest in, put the timer on, and now I'll take this, and I will place it in the middle. Oops, took some of mine off the side. It's just, so years ago, I remember I was cooking. I think I was preparing for a cooking class. And my daughter's dad ran a ski school. And so one of the instructors came by to pick up something, and I'm in the kitchen, and I was doing broccoli and cauliflower like this. And it was a bigger plate. It was a plate this side, and I had I think maybe the broccoli on the outside. Either way, you can do it, mix it up. It's just doing the color. And he said to me, basically, why are you bothering? You're just going to eat it anyway. You're just going to eat it anyway. And I said, because our eyes, you look at something and you go, wow, that looks good. And obviously he didn't have appreciation for vegetables, but I said, and you know what? This is very creative. Cooking is very creative. I consider it an art form. And I like different creative things, and I found with Bree that cooking allowed me to express that creativity through the cooking when I didn't have time to knit or do other things anymore. I could express it through the cooking. So then, while I wait for that last part to finish, I'm thinking of all of these. This is how I cook for both Bree and I. So then, I would take, a portion for her, and I would blender it up either in the Vitamix, or you could do it in a bullet. And if it's for tube feeding, you can just put more spring water, healthy water in it, and make it more liquid. Then I would freeze it in ice cube trays. Ideally, you want it fresh, first, second, third day. That's ideal. But there are times that you actually need to have some stuff frozen for those times when there's an emergency, something happens you're not planning on. At least you have that homemade mom's love food there. And no matter how you're feeling as a mom, how exhausted, overwhelmed, frustrated, sad, angry, whatever, when it comes to your child, your love is always there. And you give processed foods from some company or some restaurant, you don't know what kind of life that cook has, or how angry they are, or if they're going through a divorce, or they're deeply depressed. And these things affect food. I mean, just think of when you go somewhere, go to a party or walk in a room, and you can feel if there's a negativity in the room. You can feel if someone's in a bad mood. You can feel when someone's giving you the silent treatment. And so that also goes into your food. Now, this one's done. This water can be used for soup stock. That's wonderful. You don't have to, you just collect it, and after a couple of days, you've got a wonderful soup stock. So now I'm putting the steamer on here, and I have this last part. Just put some more in here. I'm going to have all these wonderful vegetables to eat. So very simple. Normally I'd make a big plate, but I'm just trying to give you an example. And then I have some cauliflower that I put in the middle. See, pretty simple. There we go. So these are boiled salads. And I will put this on the side and just clean this off. And I'll show you quickly how to make steamed vegetables, steamed leafy greens, which you want to have every day, every day, every day. Leafy greens have protein in them, okay? Spinach has a ton, kale has a ton for sure. While that's happening, I made, and I'll type up the recipe. I won't type it up. The high school student here will type it up for me, because I'm very challenged computer-wise. I made a homemade hummus here, and so easy and so good. So what I think about is, okay, I blender up this. This can be tube feeding food, all organic. Mom's love. Mama made it. So then the kids come home from school, and something like this, the broccoli and cauliflower is perfect for this, because they can just take a piece, dunk it in the hummus. What a healthy snack. So this hummus was so easy to make. I used organic tahini. Now with Bree, I always used a raw. The only ingredients in this is raw organic sesame seeds. And that's the one I always use for her. If I was making a soup that needed it, that would go for her. And this is also good. When it came to Bree, I always searched down for the best. That is just the way it was. This was food that was creating, that's how our cells are created, from food. And I wanted to put everything on my daughter's side to give her the best fighting chance she could have. This is also a nice organic tahini too. So you can just dip it in, and what a great snack. How this is made was with 1 red bell pepper diced up. So you just cut off the top, bottom, take the seeds out, and cut it in strips, and dice it up. So, and I put it all in Cuisinart food processor. So it was one of these. It was a 1/2 cup of the tahini. It was a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. You get the little bottles of organic lemon juice. You can use that. A teaspoon of sea salt. A teaspoon of cumin. Cumin is an herb. A teaspoon of, now my mind just went blank because I went, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and I will have to think about that other part because it just went blank on me when I was thinking about, but we're going to write this up anyway. And blender it up, and or food process it up, and you've got a great homemade tahini. Now, so we've got boiled salad at least 4 times a week. Now, quick steamed greens every day. So I've got a couple here. These are collard greens. This is bok choy. This is curly kale, full of protein. And this is also a different form of kale called lacinato or elephant kale. So this one I slice through, but something like the kale that has this thick stem, what you do first, and I have a pot of water at the boil, and I have, I'll show you, a steamer basket. That's all you need, steamer basket. And just bring the water up to below the steamer basket. So how I prepare the kale is I literally cut this stem out, okay? So there it is. And then what I would do is I would julienne all the stem like this. And julienne it right up. I believe it was a teaspoon of turmeric in that. I will verify that, but I'm quite sure. So I would put, and you always put the stems in first. Give them about a minute. So I'm going to do a little bit of all these. I could take this, I do a V like that, and take this stem out. And do the same thing. And collards can have a long stem like the kales too. These don't. So I'm not concerned about those. And I just slice it in an angle and put it in first. There we go. Put the cover on. And what I do with these, say I had I would normally have many of these leaves. You just roll them up. You roll them up like this. Makes it easier, and then you just slice through. By the time I've done that, they're ready to go in the pot. And you know, you can use a timer, but when they're bright green, you know they're done. Same thing with the collards. Just layer the leaves on top of each other, make a little cigar out of them, and slice right through. The thinner you slice, the faster they'll cook, okay? Thicker with anything, any vegetables. The bigger the pieces, the longer it takes to cook. The smaller the pieces, the quicker it takes to cook. So that's pretty basic. So that's the collards. And please mix up your greens. Don't have kale every day of your life. Okay, you need to mix them up. there's an acid in them that you need to mix them up every day. And so I just sliced through the lacinato and sliced through the bok choy. And now they're ready to go in. I'll put them, normally I'd only have one kind here, so I'm just gonna put them in their own little sections and let them steam away. And I guarantee you, I'm gonna put the timer on just because, but I guarantee you they'll be a bright green color. So greens every day. Greens are full of protein. Greens, the chlorophyll, very good for the lungs, that part of the body. So, and you could boil your greens too. Please change up these methods, because I know it might sound strange, but energetically, you're looking to, the most important thing is that you can do for any child is to feed them the best foods, the best plant-based foods, because that builds their immune system. That builds their immune system for their life, besides it starting with breastfeeding as long as you can. And there is no bigger gift you can give a child. The love just comes, but to give them a healthy start in life, and so that they can be ready for whatever is out there, is so important. And the research is more than in about needing more vegetables and nuts and seeds and grains and fruit. And the only reason it's not bigger than it is because the big pharmaceutical companies and the big food processing companies adding all their additives wouldn't be making money. If we had all the parents, moms and dads, cooking, wow, that would be fabulous. So, and your child doesn't go and buy the candy. Your child doesn't go and buy the Cheerios and all those box cereals or cookies or cakes or muffins. They're not doing it. It really is our responsibility as their parents to provide them with the best food we know of. And once again, it all can be blenderized. This is how I cooked for 35 years since I started the plant-based, and it all can be used as for tube feeding too. Now I don't know if you can see how bright this is, but as far as I'm concerned, it's done. It's just bright green and beautiful. And, for Bree I never needed salad dressing. Another thing about salad dressings are, you've got to read the ingredients, because I've watched people, wanting to lose weight and stuff, using salad dressings that once they put the salad dressing on with all the dairy in it, they might as well forget it. They've destroyed any benefit they're getting from the salad. So a good one, if you want to use something. See, so the timer went off, so we were right on, both of us. Is this Bragg's, very basic. You don't even have to refrigerate it. It's basically apple cider vinegar and olive oil, and very basic and clean. But with Bree, she, because of all her food intolerances and allergies, I had to keep it real simple, which is lovely. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to cover. Okay, so the idea is to get everybody cooking more vegetables, getting, blenderize them for their children, start thinking of different combinations you can make. It's simple, it's easy. This really is. So what you have now is you have my video on cooking root vegetables, Bree's root vegetables, or waterless cooking. And now you have how to make a boiled salad. You have how to make steamed greens every day, this 4 to 5 times a week, and 4 to 5 times a week for the waterless cooking. And also then there's raw. Then you can grate up, get a good grater, and you can grate up. I use this one, I love this one. And you can grate up, with a good romaine lettuce. Please never ever use iceberg lettuce. It's nutrient zero nutrients. It's really the worst. You know, to don't eat. It's a waste of money. So romaine lettuce is good. Red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, arugula, spinach. Spinach could go in here too. You know, then grade sweet potato or carrots, or I do watermelon radish, red radish, zucchini. It's on and on and on that you can mix it up. Get as many variety of vegetables into your child as possible. Don't do the same thing all the time. I hope this helps, because it is really, really easy, and it's so important for your children to eat vegetables and eat a variety of vegetables. And I think that's it. Thank you so much.